I'm at my mom's.
Ah,
So I live with her to help her. So our farm's empty. It's
except for
really,
our illustrious Kempo.
yes, except it's his home while
That
he's
is so
here.
cool. So nice. He must
Yeah.
love it.
So yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I hope so.
So generous
I'll be,
of you.
I'll be with these wild animals, horse, some wild cat.
A wildcat?
Yeah, some cats come this area sometimes, shows up
Huh,
and goes
huh,
away.
huh. A bobcat, maybe. Or a puma, a bobcat. I'm trying to think what they have around here in Maryland. Sometimes they're
Uh,
cats, wild cats. Yeah.
yeah. Then lots of deers,
Mm,
many deer, baby deers here.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen those too. And when the stay-at-home order first went into place and people were really not on the roads, they
Uh,
would just wander down the middle of the roads. They figured out that the traffic had kind of gone away for a while and they were just out looking around.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. So
Well,
what is
when when this is all over, maybe Kempo will have a big retreat at the farm. We can all come.
Oh, I'll be there.
we're doing every day ritual in the farm.
You're just
Good
charging it
point.
up.
You everyone is here right now with me here. So most still people every day with here together. So yeah.
I wish I could join during the weekdays, but I'm always on work calls and
Mm, yeah. Okay, so now we're ready to practice. Someone please can you supplication to Tara? Waking up everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ame pichi yung na yung jiten hamo drona ju tisem chen kala di terma don't you so Rong chi in ber ma hi ber Senyo mong jerwai ma korwar chimbi sem chila Yung hamo chochi chat so chinyang di chela ma chi ba tanye tsu ge ji chang ni chân thang yên bên hi wa la yong yang da ga ha mi cha te so ga wa rang ga san Thông ni gom per ma she per xia wang em be yong
Yongjambe Lami Chat So Sarang Shong Yin Mei Hila Nisun Zambe Vacha Jitar Xie Jiang Zhong Ba Nam Tenu Me Jie La Mi Jia De So Yang Da Ke Don La Ni Xi Jiang Jian Zhen Jie Dan Zhe Mei Hi Bi Ki Xi Don La Mong Ba La Yong Gen Qian Jie La Mi Jia De So Jin Zhe Nang Ki Can Nie Jian Tam Jian Di Da Ye Me Ji Da Dong Lo Mi Gang Zi La Yong Zong Sang Ji Jie Jia De So We cannot hear you, Kambola.
Kempo, you're on mute.
Why nobody say anything? I'm already chanted long way. I have to put verse. I say thank you, Chuang La, and we're going to opening prayer.
Again, huh?
If you don't hear clearly, please let me know. Oh, Mother Sentient Beings, especially those enemies who hit me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles to my path to liberation and damnation. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and save love, establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Oh, Mother Sentient Beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles to my path to liberation and damnation. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering and safely. I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dalai Dang Water Sebe Dai No Water Sebe Harba Dan Dam Je Jembe Barade Ju Bara Seba Dam Je Do Sebe Manam Ga Dan Nyambe Sem Je Dam Je Dewa Dan De Dungara Dan Dara Nyor De Lana Me Ba Yang Da Bara Zobe Dan Nyor Rumbo Je Do Bara Sa Thus unto I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Kanduru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of the Yadams. We take refuge in the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas and Dakinis and the Dhamma gardens, the possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embodied the enlightened mind and the progress of the Bodhisattva's path, true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta, and apply myself to complete each stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of Janarats and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. So now we go to short mandala. Page 10a. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water, strewn with the flowers. It is adorned with the meadow, the spring mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As Buddha said, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of Buddha first. To the Lama who possesses the three kayas, I offer the altar in the secret offerings. With my body, worth, and all that is visible, please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Om Guru Rena Mendala Punza Manga Samandra Tavar Samaya Hom. I equal refuge, ornament of the world. Your firm provides the 3,000 words. You are the victor Vajradhara, widow adored. I bow at the feet of Father Jigtin Sungwa. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of mind. Please turn the way of Dharma, of the true words and the combination according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. So now we go to Manjushri, page 32. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of the two worlds, and perceives the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has compassion for beings who are suffer from the darkness of ignorance in the person of samsara, as a father for only son. Like a thundercloud, he awakening those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma. Through the 60 branches of Haramani's speech, he wields the wisdom sword to cut the saddling of suffering and to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplishing the 10 levels, and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Manjushri, adorned by the 112 sons of Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade, Om Arabazanade. Om Arabazanade, Om Wangishorimon, Om Wangishorimon, Om Wangishorimon. The mantra is the page 34. Om Wangishorimon. Usually has actually many mantras, so usually we use these two. Om Arabazanade is more public. Most people know Om Arabazanade. Then when we usually practice this sadhana, use Om Wangishorimon, Om Wangishorimon. Om Wangishorimon, you who are the perfect, beautiful body, those flame of wisdom blessed, and dispel the darkness of worldly ignorance, are posted to before you and praise your majesty. Okay, so now we're going to the teaching. So we finish the opening prayer. Teaching is from stage of meditation. Stage of meditation. So introduction, main body, conclusion. So follow the three sections in this teaching. So the main body has 8 chapters. So first chapter is how to meditate on 4 thoughts that turn the mind. Second is how to meditate on love. Third is how to meditate on compassion. Fourth is how to meditate on bodhicitta. So that or this, the 4th chapter is a part of the method. Then chapter 5, how to meditate on shamatha, how to meditate on vipassana. This two is the wisdom section. So that chapter 1 to chapter 6 is followed by more sutra tradition, Mahayana tradition. So then today we're going to share the chapter 7 and then coming chapter 8. These two is like usually Vajrayana tradition, follow the Vajrayana tradition. How to meditate on vipassana and how to meditate on completion stage of wisdom is very similar, but later be different method, different ways, presenting the natural mind, absolute truth. It's actually very similar, but how to meditate on completion stage of wisdom is like followed by more Vajrayana tradition. And how to meditate on vipassana is followed by Mahayana tradition. So then how to meditate vipassana has more explain about selflessness of a person, selflessness of phenomena, and intellectual. That part is more explained in the vipassana section. How to meditate on completion stage, we don't have intellectual. So part of that in there. Other mostly very similar, but sometimes a little bit different ways introducing the natural mind. So now today we are in the how to meditate on developed stage of skillfulness. So this is the Vajrayana tradition, follow the Vajrayana tradition. Actually, Mahayana also has practice Yadam deities, but different. Mahayana tradition, Vajrayana tradition, big different. The Mahayana tradition visualize the Yadam deities just usually visualize with pray to the Buddhas and ask the Buddha blessing and help us. So Vajrayana is a more deeper level than that. And visualize, self-generation stage, completion stage is more method in the Vajrayana practice Yadam deity. So today is how to meditate on the development stage of skillful means. It's like followed by Vajrayana tradition say that way. In this book, sharing the practice Yadam deity. So page I think 78 looks like yes. So page 78. How to meditate on development stage of skillful means. So this meditation is called development stage of skillful means. So stages and generation stage. We usually call generation stage means like you have to visualize step by step. And that's the reason generation stage. Of skillful means like using the skillful method. So using different method, then comparing to, we already shared the other part. This is like different method where it's like can reach to the Buddhahood. That's why it's called skillful. Skillful means actually when you reach the Buddha is no difference. If you follow by like we already talked, method, part, practice, and then you into the vipassana, shamatha, and vipassana, you can become Buddhahood too. So then this one is using different method, but can be Buddha. Buddha is no difference. On the path, method is different, result is no different. So both where same result comes. So we have to know that you going to from here to like example, San Francisco. So someone fly, someone drive, go on the road. So you get the same city like that, you know. So that's why it's, this one is called skillful means like using different method, but result is the same. Buddha result is the same. Out of all the immeasurable Dharma teachings that Buddha Vajradhara taught to disciples in accordance with their varying karmic propensities, the essence of them all is the fruition part of sacred mantra Vajrayana. So this teaching is come from Buddha Vajradhara. So Buddha Shakyamuni teaching like regular ordinary beings, he used the ordinary form his body, like usually in the traveling activity in the India, people's what they have perceptions, what they're seeing him. So that form body present all the other teachings. So when he shared the Vajrayana teaching, then that time, so his form is transformed to the called Buddha Vajradhara. Actually, Buddha Vajradhara is Buddha Shakyamuni. But these disciples seeing the different form body, not the same is like Buddha Shakyamuni Namanakaya form when he is enlightening Bodhigaya and he talked the first turning Dharma in the Varanasi. So that time disciples seeing his body, and in this one is different. Person is the same, but form body is different. So the reason is this Vajrayana teaching is Buddha giving for the high realizer students. So then the high realizer students, they don't see the just regular form body Buddha, just they see the Vajradhara Buddha. So that's why it's their perception is Buddha Shakyamuni is seeing the Buddha Vajradhara. So Nyima tradition talk about the King the Zambo. Kaju tradition talk about the Buddha Vajradhara. It's the same. And the color is blue color. The reason is like the, representative with Dharmakaya. That's why the form body is blue color, is represented with Dharmakaya. And that means like highest level teaching is come from and Buddha Vajradhara. So that's representative his form body also blue color. So then he shared the disciple in accordance with the Vajrayana karmic propensities, means like then he taught Vajrayana teaching. Vajrayana teaching has many different levels. So not the same. The Tantra tradition has 9 yanas. Vajrayana has 9 different level yanas. So that's all is followed by this, disciples in accordance with their varying karmic propensities. And that's the reason Buddha Vajradhara share many different teachings. So outer Tantra, inner Tantra, secret Tantra, so usually they're presenting like that. 333, like 9 yanas. So then the essence of them all is the fruition part of secret mantra Vajrayana. The Buddha taught so many teachings, but this Vajrayana teaching is actually fruition part of secret mantra Vajrayana, means like directly talking about result. Directly talking about the result. That's why it's called fruition part of secret mantra Vajrayana. Some teachings like this, Mahayana is a cause, Vajrayana is a result. So that's also some ways is correct, Vajrayana because talk about more directly to the result. And Mahayana teaching is focused for more cause. So that's the reason Vajrayana teaching is best to own the Mahayana teaching. Mahayana teaching is best to own the Vinayana teaching, the Hinayana teaching, Theravada tradition. So Theravada teaching is a basic teaching, most actually important part for the beginner practitioners. And then in the path practice like Mahayana, use like method, and then comes more close to Buddha is using Vajrayana practice. That's also like 3 levels going up. Also great way to do that way. So actually in this Vajrayana, each Yidam deity has like all the way like what their beginner, middle, and end, like what all these levels actually each sadhana have. So this time, we practice any deity, any like kind of this different teachings receiving the usually they put everything together. So means like there has a basic teachings, they have a method, there has like wisdom part, they have a skillful method, everything in the each section. So usually we create together. So when Buddha shared that time, it looks like he's sharing like separate sections because due to the student capacity. So then when we enter into such a path, we train our minds by giving rise to the strong intention to serve help all sentient beings reach the state of Buddhahood. When we're going to practice Vajrayana, so must have to have a compassion and bodhicitta. Without that too, not required to practice Yidam deities actually. So that's the reason when we enter into such a path, means like enter to Vajrayana practice, we train our minds by giving rise to the strong intention. So severely help all sentient beings, wanted to help for benefit for other beings. Reach the state of Buddhahood, we have to create our, bodhicitta or change our intention. So practice Vajrayana is wanting to benefit for others, not benefit our own benefit, like thinking about own benefits. So we think it's our own benefit, then you practice Vajrayana. So can be, you know, like it's go wrong directions too. So that's the reason without this bodhicitta, actually not required to practice yadam deities too. When a person with the intentions and the conduct of the Mahayana enter into the fruition of a part of a secret mantra Vajrayana, so people who has Vajrayana, Mahayana practice, then that person is ready into the Vajrayana practice. He or she must receive the empowerment to wrapping his or her mind stream. So come into the Vajrayana teaching, he or she, anyone, have to receive first is empowerment. So empowerment is actually Vajrayana vows. So we already, you know, right now we are on the study together in the Mahayana, essence of Mahayana. We finish there, Patimokkha vow. So that is followed by Theravada tradition, Vinayana tradition. Second is Mahayana, like Bodhicitta vow. So we also talked that already. That is into the Mahayana practice. Then when we are going into the Vajrayana practice, then have to receive the empowerment. Empowerment is required to Vajrayana practitioners because you have to receive Vajrayana vow first. And then also empowerment is give you authority to like practice, and you have ability to practice. And also the empowerment means like introducing you are the Yadam deity. So Vajrayana, this practice is like we have to recognize we are Yadam deity. So empowerment, introducing you that. So Yadam deity is our nature, mind. And then empowerment using different method. So that's why I call the skillful method means using different method, introducing the you are Buddha. So that's the reason empowerment is required. Empowerment to wrapping his or her mind stream. However, taking empowerment is not enough. So then you think, oh, I have already empowerment. Then I don't have to do anything. So that's also incorrect. When you receive empowerment, that's also not enough. So however, having received empowerment, we must then uphold our samayas or secret commitments. So we have to follow, you know, the Vajrayana teaching, practice. At the same time, we have to uphold our samayas, commitments, or secret commitments. You know, we have to follow the commitment. So that's Vajrayana has a lot of commitments when you receive empowerment. So think about when you already received we share this you essence of Mahayana, but not really detailed in the section of the Vinayana part. So many vows in there. So which one you have to hold? Mean essence. No harming for others. No harming for other beings. So you hold that, then you have Vinayana vow. It's there, essence is there. Especially lay practitioner, hold that. Then we're going into the Mahayana, when we receive this bodhicitta vow, there also has so many this follow the vow and the commitment. So the most important is essence is so much ever we can when we have ability to help can help for others, so we can help other beings. So that is the essence of the vow. Mahayana is like helping for other beings. When we have ability to do. Sometimes like, we don't have ability to do, we think we feel bad or I cannot help. So that's okay. We cannot help everyone. But when you have ability to do, then you doesn't help and give up that. So that is become, the broken the vows of Mahayana. So example, someone dying for hunger and thirsty, you have enough food. The person asks you, please give me your share some food and drinks. You didn't share, you like to die, that person. So that means you give up the other beings. So that kind, if intention or thinking or doing things, then broken Mahayana, the Bodhisattva vows. So then here is, of course, Vajrayana has so much vows, more than Vinayana tradition. But most important essence is, Garchen Rinpoche always share, we hold the bodhicitta, like good intention, bodhicitta. Then when you have time and, chant the mantra, which deity you receive the empowerment, chant the mantra, visualize sometimes when you get time. So then that is the most important, is follow the Vajrayana commitment. If we remain in proper absence to our samaya, even if we never meditate, we will be liberated within 7 lifetimes. So if you don't broken your samaya, but if actually you didn't broken your samaya, but you hold the samaya, you didn't practice Yidam deity, you didn't meditate, but still you have opportunity, enlightenment 7 lifetimes after. So Vajrayana is to take 7 lifetimes after we can enlightenment. The reason is why you can enlightenment, because this teaching already introducing you are Buddha. So if you don't practice in this life, maybe you're going to practice the next life, you can recognize that nature, and you have already coming imprints, seed already put in this life. So anyway, you're going to practice sooner or later. So I think that's the reason, takes 7 lifetimes Vajrayana teachings like enlightenment. If you don't practice, if you practice, then 1 lifetime we can become Buddhahood. So that's no questions. So many practitioners become enlightenment because of their practice. 1 lifetime, so many histories, and we can see, and many beings already passed and enlightenment 1 lifetime. This potential is rooted in keeping the samaya of lamas enlightened body, speech, and mind without transgressing. So, most important, keep samaya with Ru Guru. So, Ru Guru's like samayas his of the lamas enlightened body, enlightened speech, enlightened mind without transgression. If we are able to supplicate the lama in this way, the blessing will come automatically. So then when you practice Yidam deity, practice Vajrayana, you supplication to our Ru Guru, and comes, then the blessing will come automatically for us. So, and the 5-part Mahamudra, in the 5-part Mahamudra root text, sung by Jigten Sunggun's realization song, 5-part Mahamudra. In there what Jigten Sunggun said, Lama Kuyakara means like the Lama root guru is the same as the snow mountain. Your devotion is the same as the sun. Sun is shine to the snow mountain. Snow mountain comes melt, comes water come out. So same like that to gurus, through our devotion get the blessing from the guru. So when we practice Yaram deity, when you're going to meditate, always before meditation, use supplication to guru and visualize, and that really helps for remove obstacle and at the same time get blessing. So that's the long story and the large stories. All this Vajrayana, traditional practitioners that did that way, and they get blessing from Ru Guru, remove their obstacles, and then the become practices successful. So that is not just we kind of like how to say something like just respecting or respect to someone, or someone is like we think also important to know like that. Many people did it that way, and there has experience, get blessing from the gurus. So the guru also must be realizers, so get blessing. So most important is of course devotion. So without the devotion, doesn't matter guru is realizer or not, you cannot get any blessing. So long as you have devotion, then guru is a realizer, then it's same as like sun shine to the snow mountain. So the blessing comes. The blessing is your practice has go right direction, and your really mind is into the Dharma, transforming your mind, and you also can feel your own experience. You get your feelings, own experience. So that's the reason the Vajrayana tradition student most important is the supplication to the gurus. So we also have a prayers like Lord Jen, Chanting, Tello, Narota. That's the same thing, like supplication to the gurus. This blessing lineage. And then today we chant this prayers to Jigten Sunggun. That's also supplication. We chant the Manjushri prayers to Manjushri. That's also part of supplication. Then you sometimes like when you meditate, you don't have to chant something, like sometimes you visualize the Ru Guru in front of you or on the crown of you, and then mentally supplicate and then go into the meditate. If we are able to supplicate the Lama in this way, the blessing will come automatically. All the pure awakening qualities of experience and realization will follow like the rising waters of a once frozen lake melting in the summer. The path to be tread here is the path of the two stages. So in this section, this is a Vajrayana section, is followed by the two stages. The development stage part of skillful means and the completion stage part of wisdom. So we have two stages. Right now, we're going to share the first one. Development stage part of skillful means. that is today we're going to share, but I think takes like at least 1 week, this one, another week. It's long section. And the completion stage part of wisdom, then we have a completion stage. If we are not bereft of the fortune to have renunciation, for time to have renunciation, bodhicitta and devotion, then we should diligently apply ourselves to the two stages. So these practitioners must have to have for time to have a renunciation. That is the important. When we going to like think about receive the Vinayana vow without renunciation, not possible to receive Vinayana vow. Then bodhicitta is the Mahayana vow. So these two most important is the cost. When we're going to practice Yadam deity, Vajrayana. Because think about like first one, like we recognize samsara is a suffering. We really want to become enlightenment. Must have to have a renunciation, and that's the reason we, recognize the samsara is a suffering. So many beings in some suffering in samsara we recognize. So we stop humming for all these other beings. These beings also wanting happiness. No one wants suffering. And then we must have to have a bodhicitta wanting to have for them, benefit to them. So then these two go first, and then going into the develop and go to the devotion. Then we should diligently apply ourselves to the two stages. So then we're going into the two stages. First, it is indispensable to develop some level of understanding and experiential test of the basic ground, the path, and the result. So Vajrayana is teaching is not followed by the relative truth and absolute truth. Vajrayana teaching is when the presenting is like ground, path, and result. It's a little bit different, using the words, presenting. So not talking about the true truth, true truth words is like Mahayana, Mayamika words. So here in Vajrayana teaching talk about the ground, path, result. So you have to know that way. So when we're going to practice Vajrayana, so you have to know this, what it means ground, what means path, what means result. You must have to have some idea in your mind. You have to get something, like in your mind before practice. That's the reason. First, it is indispensable to develop some level of understanding and experiential test of the basic ground, the path, and the result. So now we have to know where we are right now. We are ground. Where is the Bodhisattvas, the path? Where is the Buddhas in the result? So now we have to we have to learn this basic ground. Is right now we are in the basic ground, means we have this actually result. We have that right now. Result is right now we have, but we didn't recognize. That's the reason we are ground. On the path, so we purifying karma, and what we have grown is recognizing. So purify karma and what we have grown is recognized is result. Actually, grown result is same, no difference. So what the main point is here is Buddha is you cannot find any other place. Right now, our ordinary man, that is Buddha. The problem is we didn't recognize because we have obscurations. So this right now grown mind, ordinary the mind, that when you recognize that is Buddha, is called result. Actually, result and grown is the same. The path helps recognize grown result is inseparable. So in the Vajrayana tradition, the grown path and the result means actually when we have two obscurations, we are in the ground. We purify one obscuration, like example, afflictive emotions purify. Then we have like some subtle level obscurations. That time we are in the path. We can be Bodhisattva. Then when we purify two obscurations, we are result. So that is only actually one person on the journey. So we cannot think about like 3 people there. So only one person. So like the thing about a passenger, you not leave your home is ground. And when you leave your home, is you are path. When you reach where you wanted to go, it's result. That same person, no different person, right? Same like that. So then the main point here is Buddha is us. Buddha is we cannot have to look for any other ultra level place. So our this ordinary mind, we have to recognize Buddha. Okay, so that's why ground, path, and result. There, before shooting an arrow, first we have to ascertain our target. So you're going to shoot the arrow or gun, so you have to know the target. What you're going to know your target is east or west or north or south. You have to know, otherwise, like your target is put east, your shoot is north or west, is wrong direction. So why we going to practice Yidam Dedis? Why we practice these meditations? Because you have to know, we have this nature Buddha. That's why we have to practice, we have to meditate. If we don't have Buddha nature, then we don't have to practice, no target there. You don't have to shoot arrow, So we have to shoot the arrow because they have a target there, right? The same thing like here, this thing about we have to practice. Why we have to practice? Because we have to practice, we have a nature, Buddha nature. And we are Buddha, that's why we have to practice. If we are not Buddha, we don't have this ground, then your practice is become useless. So you don't have a target, and then why you going to shoot the arrow? It's all wasting your arrows, right? No, we have a target, so we have arrow, so we have to shoot arrow. Same thing, like we have the ground, that's why we have to practice the path. Path is arrow. We have to shoot arrow, like same as we have to practice a path. Then result is arise. So that we have to take this section. Then first we have to setting our target. In this same way, we must understand what we are purifying our minds to realize. So we have to know what we purifying. We purifying our two obscurations. If we don't purify our two obscurations, we cannot realize. If we cannot realize what problem is, we are always stuck in samsara. We not possible to get realization. We not possible to enlightenment. So we are purifying our minds to realize the inner nature, the basic ground that has always been beyond any duality of bondage and liberation. So this basic ground is always be with us. That basic ground is actually not deluded. You know, it's free from free from the, we can say, like, you know, obscurations actually. Free from suffering, free from obscurations. The basic ground is, the basic ground nature is always there. The no obscurations and emotions stained there or unstained there. Like same is the sun. Sun is ground. The thunderstorm take clothes. So that term is called ground. And then this take clothes thunderstorm can affected your sun? No, never affected. Take clothes thunderstorm never affected the sun. Same like that, our ground nature, our own emotions never affected. So then what happened? What problem is? So big thunderstorm, you cannot see the sun. Even sun is there, we cannot receive the sun. We cannot see the sun. So then thunderstorm affected, that time is called ground. Like we have the same like that. You know, our mind is like thunderstorm emotions. Afflictive emotions, the same as thunderstorm. The thick clouds, dark clouds is same as the obscuration. So our basic ground nature is the same as the sun. And then thunderstorm goes away, but still clouds, we recognize the sun is there, but still you cannot receive the sun's radiance. You know, but you recognize the sun is there in the sky. It's like kind of white clouds, not really bad. That time is called path, and that time is like called Bodhisattva level. So Bodhisattvas, as on the path, they're practicing, they have experience, this Dharma practice, they get experience. Same is like we can see this, we recognize the sun is in the sky. So like that. So that's the time is called Bodhisattva's path. Then all these clouds is go away. No more any cloud in the sky. Sun is shining. So that is the result. So then that time is like we purify all our two obscurations. So no think about when the sun is under the thunderstorm and the sun is free from all these clouds, sun is change or not? No change, same sun. So like that, ground result is the same. You know, path recognize that. The path is practice recognize that. Okay, so that's the reason here. We are purifying our mind to realize the inner nature, the basic ground that has always been beyond any duality of bondage and liberation. And what are the objects of purification? So then on the path, what we have to use purification, those are all the temporary. And in this, so okay, here it says, and what are the object of purification? What we have to, which one is we have to purify? Purification. So those are all the temporary, means this purifying obscuration is temporary, not the nature mind. So same is like thunderstorm is temporary, not the nature of the sun. Thunder is not nature of the sun. Thunderstorm is like temporary. Same thing, our emotions, obscuration is temporary, not our natural mind. So natural mind, you think about when you meditate, you have experience. We meditate, practice like vipassana. So no any thoughts, low into your mind with awareness. There are no emotions, your mind nature is no emotions. No any fears, no emotions, no attachment, desire, of course, emotions, attachment, desire, this, no any fire afflictive emotions there. No subject, no object there. So that is a natural mind. So no what we seeing, subject, object, our emotions, thoughts, this all is temporary. These are all the temporary. Advantage was appearances that arise. So this all arise. Advantage was appearances that arise, but have never truly existed inherently. Then whatever we see this object, whatever we appear to these form bodies, actually this also truly no exist. It's all is temporary, never truly existing inherently. The basics upon which we make first projections based on confusion. So the inherently, the basic upon which we make first projections, we can see this all our make false projections based on confusion. So we have this due to the confusion because we have this temporary, object of purifications. The agent of purification is the wisdom of true of the path. So then we practice the path. So the main point is first we told is like in the ground our natural mind has so much obscurations and emotions there, different kind of experience, perceptions. So this everything is temporary. Nothing is a nature of the mind. So then they go into the agent of the purification. Then we use the method purification. Is the wisdom of the true of path. And all that is associated with that, the stage stated that is pure and free from confusion is the result. So using the purification practice, dharma is path. So purify all our obscurations, then free from confusion is the result. Therefore, the basic ground is that which must be realized. So then what we have right now, our basic ground is realized. Which helps realize because path helps realize. When realize is result, result is actually same as the ground. What we have, that is realized. Nothing find something we don't have. What we have, that is realized. So that's the reason result, ground is the same essence, not separate. The path is that which enables us to recognize it. See, path helps recognize it. The path is that which enables us to realize the result. Path has able to realize the result, which is what we aim to realize. In addition, the basic ground and the result should be known as one. See, result and ground is like recognize the same, no difference, one. And the same in essence. So same essence. These points should be well understood. So when we're going to practice Vajrayana teaching, so we have to understand that part is very important, understood. Whether in the context of the ground, path or result, our basic nature, our true essence is unchanging, beyond waxing or waning, beyond anything to be denied or anything to be asserted. So think about the sun is like I share with you the ground, path, and the result. The sun is not, when you free from this clouds, thunderstorms, free from that, but sun is not become bigger, not smaller, always the same. Think about it, the sun is affected by thunderstorms, that time sun is not decreasing. And the sun is free from this all thunderstorms, that time sun is not increasing. Sun is the same. So like that, our nature is right now in the ground. That time, the nature, so qualities, and no decreasing, always is there. Same is like sun is under the thunderstorm, but sun has a heat, and all this like radiance, everything is there, even the thunderstorm, no decreasing. So same thing, like right now we are in the ground, we have all this nature's qualities there, no decreasing. So practice a path, and one day we realize absolute true nature. So realize the result. At that time, then our nature is not increasing. Just the same thing what we have grown is just realize that is recognized, not different. So that's the reason here is talking about in the context of the grown path or result, our basic nature, our true essence is unchanging, beyond waxing or waning, beyond anything to be denied or anything to be asserted. Not only that, but all the relative truly phenomena of samsara that did not exist but appear to us no temporarily. So know what we have this, all these forms appear to us. So this everything is temporary, not the reality. Same is the dreaming, So we have experienced our own dream. Our own dream is when you wake up, so you realize that is temporary, it's gone. When you are in the dream, you don't recognize that is temporary. So when we are in the dream, that time in the dream, everything is like truly appear to us. But think about when we wake up, that all is temporary, it's delusion, nothing is existed there. So same thing right now, whatever this appear to form body, everything us, whatever appear to us, is everything is temporary and relative truth, not really inherently exist. Appear to us not temporary, without a past to be trust or a future to be found. You cannot find the past, you cannot find the future. If you investigate, cannot find anything. So we already told that. This projection of a confusion that have never truly existed yet appear to us from our habitual imprints. These empty forms have always been devoid of inherent realness. So this is the main point, is like all this, temporary experience us, whatever appear to us, is not inherently exist. This object is not inherently anything exist. So that's the reason we already talked the selflessness of a person, selflessness of phenomena. So then why we have this object, this experience? Because it's due to our habitual imprints. So we have habitual imprints, that's why this forms is appear to us. Same as in the dream. So dream, the forms that appear to us is also have a common imprints too. That's why form dream is appear to us. These empty forms, actually, whatever appear to us is empty forms, have always been devoid of inherent realness. Like no, not is truth. No, that is not absolute truth. That is no our natural mind. That is why just as an imaginary son in a dream was never actually born and king, therefore never die in the atomic nature or its equal, beyond increase or tribulations. So think about, dream. So son is born in the dream and then son is dead in the dream. So when you wake up, actually son is never born, never dead. So in the dream, who has the dream? That person has son is born, son is dead. But when they wake up, they're no born, no dead. Same like that is this, whatever this form appear to us, actually not truly inherently exist. Same as a dream. So then why so different the dream? This is like every day we can appear to us. Dream is only short term. Short term, long term, the time is not important. Okay, sorry about lost connection. Sorry about lost connections. So now I go back to the, you were saying the data sharing to the house. Can you hear or no? Okay.
Yes, you're coming through well.
It's a little bit sometimes like harder than the wireless is better, but I hope okay. So then what we have the problem is we thinking, oh, dream is a short term, and this form like right now this all apart to everything is us is like longer, it's like more looks like permanent. Every day we have experienced these things, but dream is like very short term. So people think that's the reason dream is temporary. This our right now appearance, this form body appear to us is like more looks like permanent. So we think that, but that's actually incorrect. Even some, like delusions can be really long, very long. So some we say, oh, this form is like appear to us is like truth because it's so long where we have to can receive all the time like that. But some beings like receive like very short term. So the time cannot make decision is what is appear to us is exist permanent. So that's it's actually Shanti Deva he talk about in the way of Buddhism using the logic very clearly. It's very beautiful. So if someone already studied like Maya Minka teachings, then this area is like piece of cake. Very easy to understand what are you talking about. Yeah. So now this okay, beyond increasing or yeah, in the atomic nature or is equal. So beyond increase or depletion. Knowing this point is important for the path of both sutra and mantra. Mantra is called Vajrayana tradition. Sutra is like Mayamika tradition. If we do not understand this point and we think one day far off in the future I will achieve the result, we are mistaken. So if you don't know this basic ground and the path result, then you think, oh no, I'm ordinary person and like future sometimes I can become Buddha. So that thinking is actually misunderstand. Buddha is right now we have. So just problem is we don't recognize. You don't have to think about oh future sometimes I can become Buddha. Like that is wrong idea. Actually, Buddha is there right now where you are. That is Buddha. So long as you recognize. So that's the reason, you know, we have a Uttara Tantra talk about the 9 different examples. I already talked that last 1 month ago, somewhere when I teaching. So example, the one person is extremely poor and extremely poor, hunger and thirsty. So his house underneath has a treasure. Is you know the treasure is like we say the costless, like something like like millions dollars cost, something like that. Actually that person is the richest in the world. Okay, but he didn't recognize he has. He is already rich, but he didn't recognize. So he think I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be rich like future some, maybe 10 years after, 20 years after. So that is his misunderstanding. Actually, he is richest already, but he didn't recognize. So like that, we actually Buddha is already there, but we didn't recognize him. We think, oh, I'm going to be Buddha like next life or future sometimes like that. Knowing this point is important for the path of both. Okay, one day far off in the future, I will achieve the result. We are mistaken. It means we lack a fundamental understanding of the view, meditation, and action. So, problem is no understanding the Vajrayana, mean essence teaching. That is why, first of all, we need to familiarize ourselves with this point. That's the reason we have to understand this, ground path and result. Once we are clear understanding of this point, we can enter into this path. Then we can go into the path practice. There are many ways to enter, ranging from elaborate to simplify, but this essential point is this. So many different ways you can into the path. So different kind of practice. Also Tantra teaching, so many different their teachings. Like you can follow by auto level Tantra. You can follow by inner level Tantra. You can follow by secret level Tantra. So many different ways you can enter into path. But the essence why we have to practice Yidam deity. The deity that we are accomplishing is already within us. Actually, what we're going to practice Yidam deity is within us. So that Yidam deity is not separate from us. That Yidam deity is with us. The true The ultimate deity of the absolute nature is the self-arising wisdom, awareness, the mandala of bodhicitta. So it's actually our mind, nature, essence. That is called self-arising wisdom, awareness. That is the Buddha. That is the Yidam deity. So the mandala of bodhicitta with bodhicitta. And so think about like we have to practice bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is embodiment of the Buddhas. Usually we talk about that. And we have this all the Yidam deity's essence we have. So how to recognize that become benefit us and benefit for others. We have to cultivate bodhicitta. And bodhicitta, the mandala of bodhicitta means like with this awareness, wisdom with bodhicitta comes, arise, then we are become same as the Yidam deity. So benefit us and benefit for others. All phenomena of the world of appearances have never been separate from this basic state. So actually, all these phenomena of world of appearances have never been separate from this basic state. Means like basic state, all this phenomena is emptiness. So our basic state also emptiness. Basic, the nature is emptiness. That's why it's inseparable. If this appearance, the say, phenomena of the world of appearance is not emptiness, then not possible to never separate from the basic state. Means not possible with our nature. So this all phenomena of world appearance have never been separate from this basic state. Means this all nature, basic, everything is emptiness. However, for the sentient beings who do not realize this, so sentient beings, regular beings, didn't recognize this phenomena, world of appearance is emptiness. Oneself and the deity appear to be separate entities. That's the reason then Yidam deity is separate from the us. Recognize that Yidam deity is not within us. Yidam deity is separate from the us. Appear to be separate entities. When we are totally fettered in cost in the cocoon of karma and emotional poisons, then Yidam deity is like separate from us. The reason is we didn't recognize this all phenomena appear to us is emptiness. Actually, this all phenomena is not separate from our basic nature. It's all is the same nature. Then that's the reason all the Yidam deity is our same nature, but we didn't recognize that. And why we didn't recognize? Because we have this totally fettered in cause in the cocoon of karma and emotional poisons. So that's the reason the deity is the embodiment of wisdom, the wisdom of liberation. So then deity is like separate from us, we recognize. Deity is the embodiment of wisdom. We are ordinary, regular beings. So become big distinctions. Yidam deity and us. So now that's the reason we have to practice. Practice Yidam deity is like closing to bring two together. Yidam deity and we are it's become closer, like one day inseparable real life. So then that time is called completion practice Yidam deity. It's same as here says the Yidam deity is not separate from the us. We have to realize that. So when we realize that, we are become it's Buddha. If we don't realize that, then we are separate from the Yidam deity. No, we have so big distinctions between Yidam deity and us. What we think Yidam deity is embodiment of wisdom. So we are ordinary being, afflicted emotion, so stuck in samsara. So we think that, we are ordinary and the Yidam deity is separate from us. Why we think that? Because we didn't recognize the basic ground. And so this section think about all the right now in the Buddhist country think exactly like this way. Exactly like this way means like Buddha's embodiment of wisdom. We are ordinary people. So that's why we have to supplication practice, like, pray to Buddha. So Buddha going to help for us. That is like mostly this Buddhist country, especially we call pure land practitioners, people think that way. So in the ordinary Buddhist country, like culturally already being Buddhist, like ordinary, mostly lay people, publicly, you cannot say you are Buddha. That thing, your word is no respect for Buddha. So there actually, their, minds become like kind of too strong, separate from Buddha and the regular beings. Actually, they really didn't understanding essence of this Vajrayana teaching. The problem is, if you really understand the Vajrayana teaching, the Buddha is not separate from us. If I say you are Buddha, you can accept that. No problem. Recognize. But some level in the Buddhist country, you say you are Buddha, they think you are rude. They say you no respect for Buddha. I am not Buddha. That Buddha is like very special embodiment of wisdom somewhere else. So then they pray to Buddha, but they always like ask to help. I have this problem, please help me. They only ask help. I have problem. They don't think about, I have Buddha, I have to realize my nature. They never think that way. So the mostly this Buddhist country people, they don't have these teachings actually. That's why they don't recognize. So think about it. Actually, Buddha is within us, our mind, ground, right? Know what we have. That is Buddha. So now this practice is a path, helps realize that, purify karma. So here is we are totally fettered. So of course, like our perception is like that too, fettered in cause, in the cocoon of karma and in emotional poisons. The deity is embodiment of wisdom, the wisdom of liberation, fully actualizing true nature. The Yidam deity is fully actualizing the true nature. Dharmata, self-benefit, is brought to fulfillment for the benefit of others. So self-benefit, Buddha means like self-benefit is also brought for fulfillment and for the benefit of all, also for others. Through Buddha means immeasurable wisdom. Then Buddha means love and power. So prayers of aspiration and the great wisdom appear in the symbolic mode of the deity, such as Manjushri, Yamitaka, and any of the peaceful and wrathful deities, along with the mandala of emanations. So that's this is the relatively regular beings thing. We think the Buddha is like immeasurable love, immeasurable compassion, immeasurable wisdom, or embodying that. And then So we practice the prayer of aspiration and the great wisdom appear in the symbol like model of deity, such as Manjushri is peaceful form body, Yamitaka is a Manjushri is wrathful form body, and the eye of a peaceful and wrathful deities along with the mandala of emotions, emanations. So there's all different emanations. Through the symbol like appearance of deities enlightening form, the mantra of enlightening speech, and the samadhi awareness of waking mind, the deity bestowed the siddhas in accordance with our wishes, enacting infallible enlightening activity to establish us everlastingly in the state of eternal happiness, the state of liberation. So why no we have to practice the Yidam deity? You know, we have the actually the basic ground we have. Why we have to practice the Yidam deity? So the reason is all these reasons because we have a karma. We are stuck in samsara. We didn't recognize. We have emotions. So then our like we don't have realized. That's the reason the Buddha is separate from us. This Yidam deity is separate from us. So we have so strong big divisions like separate distinctions with Buddha. So then we think Buddha is all these qualities. So now we didn't recognize we have these qualities. That's the reason we have to auto level practice Buddha, supplication to Buddha and the Yidam deities. Development of the visualization of the deity. So then we have to develop visualization of the deity. That's the reason we have the recitation of the deity's mantra. And we have to do puja and retreat, accomplishment practice of the deity are known as the way to accomplish the deity on the auto level. So that's all the different levels we practice the Yidam deity. So now I think you understand it's like a little bit harder here, like could be confusions. So we already told we have a basic ground. We are being Buddha already. This right now we are already Buddha. Then actually we have recognized that due to our karma, we are stuck in samsara. So now we are stuck in samsara. We think, oh, Buddha is immeasurable compassion, immeasurable love, and the Buddha is embodiment of wisdom, embodiment of bodhicitta, so self-liberating, benefit many other beings. So effort to form body, benefit for others. So now that's the reason now we have to practice Yidam deity. Because we are stuck in samsara, we have a karma. And we have to practice until we realize. So one day we realize that this Yidam deity is inseparable, same. But until realize, right now, we see separate, different. We are ordinary. Yidam deity is already enlightening form, embodiment of wisdom. So that's the reason we have to practice. So big distinctions. So now we practice the Yidam deity like auto tantra helps close. Inner tantra become more close. Sacred tantra has become inseparable. So that's the reason this tantra like levels practice. It's become close to the Yidam deity. The highest level tantra, secret level tantra is Yidam deity in the hour is become realized inseparable. So then that means like we are completing practice Yidam deity. So now we have a karma, emotions, even we have this basic nature, but so big different distinctions, Buddha and us. So one day become the practice is close bring us and inseparable. So that's the reason we have to practice. Those like actually why we have to practice. We already have being Buddha, we have this basic ground. The result is the same. Result and the basic ground is the same. Why we have to practice? So basic ground result is the same, but we didn't recognize basic ground result is the same is we didn't recognize. Ground has obscurations, afflictive emotions, obscurations there. So we have to purify that and using the path. Practice is practice. Then practice bring result is grown is inseparable. Make sense or no? Okay, so everyone understand. Thank you.
No, Temple, I don't understand. When you said that if we are already Buddha, I don't understand then why should we practice? And you say because we have karma. And if we are Buddha, we shouldn't have karma. Why should we have karma? If we are already Buddha, then we shouldn't have karma. And you said that because we are separate. But if you are Buddha, how can we separate from the Buddha? And that's one question. And the second question is, what is different between Yidam deity and the Buddha? Is the Yidam deity equal to the Buddha or separation from the Buddha? Or do we visualize Yidam?
So Yidam deity and the Buddha, okay, like Yidam deity, Buddha is the same, no difference. Sometimes we call Yidam deity. So this is the practice of Yidam deity. And sometimes we call Buddha is the same. And why we have to practice, if your ground is like, if your ground is Buddha, but if you don't have obscuration, you don't have emotions, you don't have to practice. But why you have to practice? Because your basic ground is Buddha, but you didn't recognize that. That's why we have to practice.
But if we are already Buddha, why do we?
But you don't recognize that. If you recognize you have accomplishment, then you don't have to practice.
Okay, so it's mainly
if you are no Buddha, then somebody say, why are you going to practice? So you don't have a cause, no possible result is arise. You're practicing, you wanted to enlightenment because you are Buddha. That's why you wanted to do that.
But isn't it if I am
if
Buddha,
you are no Buddha,
enlightened?
then your practice is, huh?
If I am Buddha, that means I already am enlightened. I already have everything. I already free. Why should I practice if I am the Buddha already?
To benefit all sentient beings.
Well,
Okay, yes. Okay, listen to us, listen to me. Listen also to me and read this again, okay? So now I give you the answer is like evening. We can talk evening. So you read again, please. Today what I share.
Okay.
And then 7 o'clock we have also discussion and meditation. So that time we can talk.
Okay, I will listen.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Then you're welcome. So here is now we are where we are. So okay, mandala of emanations through the symbolic appearance of the deity's enlightening form, the mantra of enlightening speech, and the samadhi awareness of awakening mind, the deity bestow the siddhas. So now we have this all basic nature, everything, Buddha, everything is us, but we didn't recognize. So that's the reason we have to practice through the symbolic appearances of deities enlightening form. So we think about all these Yidam deities appear to form body has using different symbolic appearance of the deities enlightening form. So that is called enlightening form, using different symbols. Means like they're showing the absolute truth, the nature quality, Buddha's quality. The mantra of, then we have to chant mantra of enlightening speech. And see, the first one is like purify our body's obscuration, visualize the Buddha, Yidam deity Buddha's form, become our form body is same is like Buddha's form body. Second is we have to chant enlightening speech and purify our speech obscuration, become our speech is the same as enlightening speech. And then samadhi, awareness, awakening mind, the deity bestow the siddhas, like we practice Yidam deity meditate. So that is become our mind nature is inseparable, the Yidam deity. In accordance with our wishes, innate, infibulate, enlightening activity to establish us everlastingly in the state of eternal happiness, the state of liberation. So this using this Buddha, like we visualize form body and chant the mantra, meditate samadhi. So then this helps us, according with our wishes. Innate thing means like we recognize our nature, going to recognize. Infibulate, enlightening activity to establish us everlastingly into the internal happiness. We're going to get recognize absolute truth nature. The state of liberation, development of the visualization of the deity, recitation of the deity's mantra, and the puja, ritual accomplishment practice of the deity are known as the way to accomplish the deity on the altar level. So that's all is resume. We have to practice the Yidam deity. Even we basic ground, it's Buddha, but we didn't recognize that. That's the reason we have to practice. That's all is the reason we have to practice. So I already told, like we have been Buddha, we are already Buddha. Why we have to practice? So we have to practice because due to our karma, emotions, we didn't recognize. That's the reason we have to practice Yidam deity. We have a body obscuration, we have a speech obscuration, we have a mind obscuration. So that obscuration is not the nature. That obscuration is temporary. We have to purify the temporary obscuration. So using this Yidam deity practice, purify body, speech, mind obscuration. Special method, using special method. So visualize the Buddha's form body, purify our body obscuration. Chant the mantra, purify our speech obscuration. Meditate samadhi, purify our mind obscuration. We are Buddha, but we have a body obscuration, we have speech obscuration, we have mind obscuration. If we purify this, our obscuration, so we are Buddha there. But why we don't recognize? Because we have these three obscurations. So now we use this practice, purify our body, speech, mind obscuration. Then we are Buddha. So now, right now, we are ordinary person, ordinary beings. Why we are ordinary? Because we have these three obscurations, body, speech, mind obscuration. So use this skillful method, practice Yidam deity, purify this body, speech, mind, we are become realized, recognize Buddha. So that time we are enlightened. Then we are no more ordinary person. Can be ordinary person, we can be Bodhisattva, we can become Buddha. That is all is depending our individual level. So long as you have a body, speech, mind obscurations, you are ordinary. So you purify some part of obscurations, you are Bodhisattva. So you purify all these three obscurations, then you have become Buddha, enlightened. The inner way to accomplish the deity is as follows. So no, that is the ultra level practice. Then we will practice Yidam Deity, ultra level practice, inner level practice, sacred level practice. Practice Yidam Deity, this is sadhana is so many different levels there. That's also sometimes people confused. Because sometimes we use ultra level practice, sometimes we use inner level practice, sometimes we use sacred level practice. But this all is like different method. Skillful method means like different ways purifying karma. Ultra level is for more for beginners. Inner level is more practitioners. Secret level is realizers. Okay, so ultra level is easy to understand because we are ordinary. Buddha is immeasurable compassion, love, embodiment of wisdom. So we pray to Buddha and visualize easy. You don't have to think about yourself and Buddha or recognize anything. Just ask Buddha, help me. Visualize there. Long as you have a devotion, visualize, pray to Buddha, ask help. So that is ultra level. So now go to the inner level. Is this body is Buddha. Inner level is body is Buddha. So secret level is your mind is Buddha. So that's where the difference. And now go into the inner level. What time is? Oh, we have a little time. The inner way to accomplish the deity is as follows. This is a little bit harder than ultra level. The deities are within one central channel in the form of essential wisdom, prana, or subtle energy of wisdom, and the pure bindu, or reproductive essences. So now, ultra level is separate from us, Buddha. Inner level is this body is Buddha. So this body is called mandala. And actually the Buddha is within our own body. So we have to transform ordinary body is transformed to the Buddha's body. So then that has so many different methods. In this level, inner level is really hard to explain for people. And also, also myself, it's really hard to understand it because it's like this subtle level body, the channel, vein, this drops, it's like someone didn't have transformed that. So then explain for others also hard. And also some people don't have this practice, hard to recognize these things. Very hard to recognize this area. Not easy to bring in the mind. So anyway, you just recognize your body is Buddha. One essence main point is. So we talked already this Pardo teaching. All these Pardo deities come from our heart center. Peaceful deities. Then we taught all this wrathful deities come from this Kabbalah. Here is the skull cup. Skull cup is the universe. All this, image Buddha is in there. So many Vajrayana practitioners who practice this level, when they die, the body also appear to the deity's form. So in Tibetan tradition, this cremate, I think cremate. And regular ordinary people usually we take to the cemetery bodies offering to these birds, vultures. And high realizer practitioners always cremate. So when you cremate, and then you can see the fire comes out, and small soul is like apart to the different Buddha's forms. And then also this body is like some part is the left cannot fire cannot burn. Usually say toe ja, so means toe is like heart area, the tongue area, I think, and this score is the no band. So that's also like kind of apart to the Buddha's image. And I think that is like who has this inner level practice Yidam deities, because they just realize this all when channel and the drops, everything is transformed into the Buddha. So who has that practice, the bodies become apart to the form is like even when they die, bodies like suns or is apart to bodies like Buddha's body images, different Yidam deities arise. So some like treasure, in the monasteries, like the skull cups, like some practitioners skull cups is like apart to the Vajra Yogini, or some is like apart to the Chakra Sambara, like that kind they have many. And then the body also like some the practitioners body part of the kept in the monastery. There sometimes they show for people some special days. So that's also like practitioners become bodies like apart to the form different Yidam deities body. I think that's the reason here. Who practice this part is completion. So the deities are within one's central channel. So our channel is ordinary channel, but that is like can be transformed to the Buddha's channel in the form of the essential wisdom parana or subtle energy of wisdom, and the pure being or reproductive essences. So this actually dependent, like ordinary beings, this is all is like a source of emotions. But practitioners, this everything is a source of wisdom. So high practitioner, this who practice the inner level tantra, then they transform like this bindu, channel, drop essence. This all is like causes of wisdom anyway. So transform causes of wisdom. But regular beings, this all is like causes like source of emotions. So they control these energies, like body, like essence energy, subtle level, they control that practitioners. So it's hard to explain, really hard to explain this section. I have this book, small book, is called the soul klaya of sacred bond of the heart. And this is come from Khenpo Jimi Pinso, is his terma. And when he come from Tibet to India, he going to see His Holiness Dalai Lama. So he went into the Nepal, the cave, sacred cave, Pema Sambhava. He meditated, practiced there. So he get, treasure there in the Vajrakalaya, this sadhana. And at that time, then he went to India. He see His Holiness Dalai Lama. He offered this Vajrakalaya teaching is for Holiness Dalai Lama. So then Holiness Dalai Lama wrote the supplication to the Vajrakalaya. In this book has supplication. So he put in the supplication, His Holiness wrote the supplication to Vajrakalaya. He put these 3 levels here. What he says is like the outer mandala manifests as a symbol like material kalaya. So Vajrakalaya, outer level Vajrakalaya, symbol like material kalaya means we have this Vajrakalaya, it's the symbols, the kind of Vajra, like sharp things, like sometimes you put the necklace and the way we practice Vajrakalaya, use that auto level symbol, auto level. So that is a auto level Vajrakalaya, Tanka and the statue, and this symbol of the Vajrakalaya protection. And then what he says, inner is the inner mandala is the perfect awakening of channels, and elements are the deities. So channels, elements as the deity, you know, awakening. The inner mandala is the perfect awakening of channels and elements as the deity. I think same is this section. So right now we're going through that exactly same. So channel and the elements has become a rise to the deities. That become is like causes of wisdom, I think. Then the sacred mandala is the perfected expression of the waking mind. So that is a Mahamudra. Secret, you know, the waking mind. So same exactly. Also, we follow this one is like auto level, inner, and the secret level. 3 different levels. First, introducing what Jayana teaching here. We already talked auto level. Now is we are in the inner level. And the pure being or reproductive essences. Our 3 doors, along with the phenomena we experience in impure state, are simply the magical display of our water veins. Therefore, we need to visualize innately present mandala of deity that has always been presented within the space of our subtle channels or nadas. See, this has always been with us, but we didn't recognize. If we don't recognize, then we don't practice. It's become ordinary, impure state. Become we are ordinary, impure channels, impure channel, impure winds, impure drops, essence drops. You know, father's essence, mother's essence, always become impure. So then that is like causes of like see is samsara is causes of this you know and ordinary. So now this is that is transformed. It's become pure channel, pure you know wind, pure drops, father mother's essence. It's become actually that it's like causes of it's like Buddha. That actually that our this wing channel drops pure, but we didn't recognize it's impure because due to the emotion. If we don't recognize that that's wing channel drops is the source of these emotions. So now we recognize, you know, our wing channel drops is transformed into the pure, then source of wisdom. So become source of blessing, joy, and not like come the source of the sadness, source of unhappy, source of suffering. It's become this is all is a source of joy and happy, and that's the reason. Think about it. We have inner, and when we practice the Yidam deity, inner offerings. Inner offering is like we offering these inner things, not offering impure ones. Impure ones we cannot offering. So offering means like pure. So joy offering, you know, joyful like means like usually the father's essence, mother's essence, like we the regular ordinary beings like that thing is joy. But actually, if who has practitioners, they really can that is like take into the causes of like become joy, like pure joy. So pure joy is their use that is offering. it's a absolute truth joy. The ordinary beings take to that temporary joy. Temporary joy is become causes of suffering. So practitioners take to the, that is like transform into the, become the permanent joy. Use that is also offering. So like that kind of, the laws in there, but I cannot explain everything. I don't know laws about this area. I usually go followed by the shamatha and the vipassana. So that is I like, and then just practice Yidam Deity, like kind of visualize and meditate. So easy way go that way. It's harder to go into this level because it's so subtle level, not easy to get into the mind. Okay, so now therefore we need to visualize the innately present mandala of the deity that has always been present within the space of our subtle channels or nadas. We accomplish mantra inseparably with the subtle wind or panna. The root of all of this is in the chitta heart. So this practicing become chitta heart is like waking this head. Chitta is actually waking the Buddha's heart. It means realize the inner quality, waking the realize the natural mind. The root of all of this is in the chitta heart, in a prevailing of light, and is the subtle bodhicitta, essence with the nature of unchanging great bliss. See, essence of the natural mind. So essence of the natural mind, subtle level bodhicitta. Chitta is a subtle level bodhicitta. So then that is the essence of the natural mind. And so who has like Tibetic called long lesser one means like who have ability to the wing, the channels, drops is transformed into the pure. So then use that is the take into the subtle level bodhicitta. Waking the bodhicitta is the unchanging great bliss. It's like natural mind. They use some special method. But turning one's intention to the unconditioned pure appearance of one's own nature, accomplishment comes. So that is the inner level practitioner's practice. Meditate that way. Realize the Yidam Deity. So, yeah. So now we finish the time. And do you have, we have a question. And the answer is we can do the 7 o'clock today. So we finish 2 sections, auto level practice Yidam Deity and inner level practice Yidam Deity. So next week we're going to secret level practice Yidam Deity. And then this generation is more details, like you study practice this, like you realize, you recognize all this Yidam Deity practices like benefits. So so this practice is like different method, different method than shamatha and vipassana. So author, inner secret, 3 different levels follow this one, and also using the ground, path, and the result. So in the ground, we are always Buddha, but we don't recognize that because due to our obscurations, emotions. So that's the reason path, we have to use this path and practice. Auto level path, inner level path, and the secret level path. This path is reuniting, like kind of recognizing the result and the ground is inseparable. So now we have a ground, we are Buddha, but obscurations, we don't recognize that. I'll give you the example. The person is the richest person in the world, but that person didn't recognize because due to his, ignorance, he has treasure his home, but he didn't recognize he has treasure. And he didn't discover his treasure. Then that's the reason he is suffering hunger and thirsty, extremely poor. So like that, we have a treasure we not yet discover. So actually, we are rich, we are treasure, we have a Buddha, but we not discovered. Okay, so now using the path, we discovering, discovering our Buddha, and then when you discovering Buddha, that is a result. That result actually in the ground, you have that. So that's the summary you have to understand. So we have to think about why we practice Yidam, because we have this basic nature. We have a ground nature. That's why we have to discover. If you don't have anything there, you cannot discover. Ground is like using the path, discovering, get the result. Okay, so thank you everyone. So now I'm going to do the dedication. Om Zara Sanje Namwa Indaye Da Yes Jovo Duje Tiempo Tang Yon de Ban De Jen Do Nam La Sanje Sansen Ba Min Kor Ji Kor De Jiang Om Zara Ba De Me Ba Ye De Wa Da Yin De Ne Sen Bi Jir Ma Da Je Wa Yin Je Bar Mai Chu Bai Ru De Re Jin Ne Nan De Jar Nong Yo De Ge Da Ge Mo Nan Da Ban De So Ye San Je San Sen Dan Je Ji Kemen Rabar Sinje Labda So Iyada Benzandaya Awan Bodanaya Zohai Sanjo Senjoy Rimboche Majibana Chijuraje Chibanyamba Mebayan Kone Kone Bevario Sonam Deya Damje Zibanye Domnanye Bedrana Banzede Jigananje Balon Tubaye Ziben Zolen Joai Joai Jambara Bave Jadaran Chembada Genda Zambo De Ande Yende Dedai Genja Jisa Daloje Gewai De Dadam Jeradamo Shizai Kinse Kinchin Chicha Temperan Elai Wando Digomba Rinchen Barja Demba Sinda Bar Chedo Zangom Benzin George. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
So
you,
see you
Thank
in
you,
the 7
Kempo.
o'clock.
Thank you,
We
Campbell.
can have a
Thank
discussion
you.
and meditate together.
Thank you so much.
Then,
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful.
You're welcome, everyone. Thanks.
Bye, Layman.
Bye.
See you at 7.
Welcome.
Bye.